And a news just coming in, former Coal Secretary Mr. Parakh is speaking. Let's just listen in.
I can't really say anything. It is the CBI which should answer as to why they have included me.
Okay, and one thing, what was happening actually when you was a secretary of the coal ministry, and what was happened? What are the allocations have been done, and what is the process actually? What has been done?
So the allegation is that Kalibera 2 block has been allotted to a private company, Hindalco, and therefore there is a undue benefit to a private company. That is the allegation. Now the case was that for this block there were two applicants. One was Hindalco, who were the first applicants, and second was Neyveli Lignite Corporation. Both of them equally competent and fulfilled all criteria which are required for allocation of a coal block. In the screening committee, we took a view that since Neyveli is a government company, public sector company, and it was also our own ministry's company, so we should give preference to Neyveli Lignite Corporation, and it was decided to give it to Neyveli Lignite Corporation. At that point of time, Mr. Birla made a representation to Prime Minister, saying it that we were the first applicant for this block. We are equally eligible and competent for this allocation of this block, and therefore our request has been unfairly rejected, and therefore it should be reconsidered. Mr. Birla also met me and made similar representation. I examined the issue and I found that yes, there is a merit in their representation because they were definitely the first applicants and they are equally eligible. And therefore, I made a proposal that along with Neyveli, we must also include Hindalco in this block. So both of them were advised to form a joint venture, and mine it is a joint venture company. To my mind, there is absolutely nothing wrong. Both of them were equally eligible, and both of them have been given that allocation. Now, Neyveli being a government company, by this allocation, the coal requirement of Neyveli to some extent came down. But then by that time, we had taken a decision that government companies can be given blocks outside the captive block also. So whatever shortage Neyveli would have had here could be met by giving them another coal block in a government route. So there is absolutely nothing wrong in the decision. So to my mind, I don't know why CBI has thought that there is a conspiracy. But if there is a conspiracy, then there are different members to this conspiracy. Mr. Birla, who made a representation, he is one conspirant. I, who examined the case and made a recommendation, I can be another conspirant. And the Prime Minister, as Coal Minister, who took the decision, he is a third conspirant. So if CBI thinks that there is a conspiracy, then why did they choose and select Mr. Birla and me, and why not me?
You made a yesterday you said in an interview, and that if CBI want to smell the case, Mr. Manmohan Singh will be the first accused in this
Must
case.
be, because if there is a conspiracy, then we are all the three conspirants, and he is the final decision maker.
So you want to be first accused of Mr. Manmohan Singh?
No, whether he is first or third doesn't really matter. The issue is that if there is a conspiracy, all three of us are equal participants in that conspiracy.
And one more thing, you have suggested competitive bidders at the time when you were there. Then who was opposed to you?
Then Minister Mr. Shibu Soren was opposed to this idea.
Okay, and what the proposal? What kind of proposal? What kind of amendments you are suggested?
No, amendment I had suggested was that Coal Mine Nationalization Act can be slightly amended to say that captive coal blocks will be allotted through a system of open auction.
And sir, one more thing. These are things which are happening to you in this coal scam, whatever is going on. And what kind of the things you are going to say to the CBI? In the means, they are going to meet you and regarding the case and whatever the further steps they will be taken. Then what is your appeal to them and what you are going to say?
No, CBI officers already met me yesterday, and I explained them same thing which I am telling now.
And when you were there, Mr. Dasan Narayan also there and Shibu Soren also there, what kind of approach you made with them and what they did with you?
Well, I had differences on several policy matters with both of them. But most of the time, because PM was also the minister, many of the proposals which I wanted to carry on, I could carry on with the support of the Prime Minister.
And how many coal banks has been allocated to the Hindalco in Odisha? And
I don't know, but I think during my time, perhaps two.
what was your time? What was your time and when it was allocated actually?
March 2004 to December 2005.
You are there. But when it has been happened, this total coal allocations, when it was completed?
No, it is still going on. Nothing has been completed. It is still going on. It's a continuous process. It will keep on as long as the coal demand in the country is there.
And what about one government agency, CAG, is praising you? But they are surprised that why Mr. Parakh has been added in the charge sheet of CBI. And one government agency, CBI, is charge sheeted against you. And what is your reaction in that?
No, I mean, this is for CBI to answer. What is that I can say?
How can we take the CAG praising you?
Sorry?
CAG is praising you, then how can we take that?
No. CAG has stated that I was the person who wanted transparency in the system. And for whatever reasons, it could not be brought about.
Sir, at the time you have approached the PM office or PM Prime Minister in the competitive bidding in the coal allocations. And is there any particular person, those continuously who was opposing your amendments or your approaches in PM office?
No, in the ministry, Mr. Shibu Soran himself was opposing it. And in PMO, I wouldn't say that it was being opposed, but I mean, it was being processed in a very slow manner. It could have been done much faster.
And after Shibu sir, the coal ministry with Prime Minister, right? And when you were there till 2005, right? After that, these Hindalco allocations, it was done after 2005 or before 2005?
Before that. It was done during my time.
When your time itself?
Yes. That's what I have stated. I made that proposal and it was made during my time.
Why? What do you think that CBI, why is targeting you if there is nothing?
I don't know. You must ask that question.
You are saying that nothing is there, I made it transparent.
Yes. So you must ask CBI that question.
What is your conclusion on that?
No, my conclusion is that it's a wrong investigation and wrong conclusion.
Okay. Finally, my one question, sir. Regarding this case, CBI going forward,